What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Hooty Hoot's Garage. Today we have a push mower. I believe it's a Troy-Bilt. Yep, it's a Troy-Bilt. Came in, lady said that she hit a metal stake with it. I checked the blade and the crank. They're just a very slight vent. It does run, but you could feel it pull back on the pull or whenever you're trying to start it. So that's telling me that the flywheel key is sheared a little bit. So let's dive into this thing and replace the flywheel key. This is what the mower looks like. Troy-Bilt TB 230. Briggs and Stratton motor on it. Yeah, front wheel drive. Lady says it ran good, and I'd always start within 2 pulls. Well, it takes about 4 or 5 pulls before it actually starts. So let's dive into this. Yeah, we have to remove this rig cover so we can get actually to the shroud on top of the engine here. Alright, and we have to pull the gas tank. There's 3 screws that holds that on. Alright, the 3 screws is a 5/16. Get these 3 screws out. Yep, set these screws aside, and this right here should barely just come right out, just like that. Then there's another bolt that holds a dipstick in. I believe it's the same size. It is. Remove that bolt. This dipstick, you can pull it out just a little bit. Just turn it, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts to pull the whole pull starter shroud off of it. And I'm thinking next size bigger. Any of these front ones, I believe they're 3/8. All 4 of those are 3/8. And the whole thing right here should go right off. Just like that. This is what it looks like after you pull the shroud, pull starter, everything off of it. You have to remove this big nut here. I'm not 100% sure what size that is, but I'll look it up here. And then we have to pop the flywheel and check the key. But a lot of times once you remove this pull starter cup here with the nut, you will able to see the slot where the keyway goes, and a lot of times you can see it if it's off or not. But let me get this nut off and I'll show you. Alright, this nut here is a 15/16. Take that off, you pull the cup off, and if you actually can look, Now, to see how well you could see, there is the slot for the keyway. And if you look beside it, this camera isn't the best focusing, you could see the flywheel key has been sheared. Actually, a good bit. Not sure if you could actually see that or not. I don't have the greatest camera, but hopefully you can see that one. And the other flywheel key is on the other side. So let's pop the flywheel here. A lot of times you could actually screw screws in here and actually have a flywheel puller pull it. Some guys can put the nut on it, put a pry bar underneath, lift up and hit this with a hammer, but you have to be very careful so you don't bend the crank up here or screw the threads up or anything. That's probably the way I want to do it, is probably with a crowbar and a hammer. I've done these a lot of times, but you have to be very careful so you don't screw the top of the motor up or the flywheel or anything. But these are pretty easy to get off. Hang tight and we'll get this thing come off. Alright, well, I have the flywheel popped here, and it should just come right up off. Remove the old flywheel key, part of it right there in my hand, and so get the old other one out. I'm going to get myself a little screwdriver here. There it is. Alright. I don't know if you could see two pieces. Supposed to be a nice little square. It's supposed to be like that. But a lot of times whenever you hit something, these shear before it destroys, like your flywheel or the crank or anything. I got a couple other ones here. Basically what you do is you look at your flywheel, make sure it's not all smashed up or anything. I've actually seen flywheels get broken from hitting stuff with it. But this looks pretty good. What you do is you put the flywheel back on and line up the slot. Then you take your new flywheel key and you actually just slide it down the groove there. Hang on. Alright, this is basically what it should look like. It's just a square piece of aluminum, and it should slide right down right in here, but I'm thinking this key here is not just a hair big. Might have to file it down. It is, this key that I got is actually an aftermarket key. It's not a true Briggs and Stratton key. Oh, went right in. So now, keyway's in. You put your starter cup back on for your pull starter. Some of them have little tabs that'll fit in some of these holes. This one doesn't. So basically it's just snugged in there. I take my impact driver, run it down. Oh, you know it's tight whenever you break your adapter. These Milwaukees really eat these adapters up. I break these all the time. But I know that's pretty tight though. Alright, now assemble this back together again. Should just fall basically right back on here again. There's two long ones and two short ones. The long ones, I believe they're from the front. Can start them. Take your ratchet, run them down. Yep, that's tight. And then you take your dipstick, put it back where it needs to be at. Take your one screw. Would help if I put the socket on my extension. Yep, and then put this right here back on. This pretty much how to change pretty much any flywheel key on Briggs & Stratton, Tecumseh, Honda. You just take it down, you have to pull the flywheel, and that's where the flywheel key is always at, in between the crank and the flywheel. Put this back on, just like that. Alright, the mower is all back together here, and I'll set you up and we'll hear how it starts. Alright, the lady always said within 1 or 2 pulls it always starts. So now with that new flywheel key in it, should do what she says it does. Try it again. Well, I think the mower is fixed. Guess I'll call the customer and tell her it's done. And I told her the big problem is just the flywheel key. I figured that's what happened whenever she said she hit a metal post. I think it was a anchor for a dog chain or something. I bent the blade just very little, didn't bend the crank or nothing. So she was kind of lucky on that. So if this helped anyone, share, like, and subscribe to my channel, and give me the thumbs up, and see you guys later.